right, gentlemen, you received the instructions in the dressing room, know what I expect. A good, clean fight. Ya recibieron las instrucciones que una pelea limpia. Legal punches, here for you, here for you. Touch gloves, good luck to both of you.
Boxing refereeing family.
For round number one.
Junior
For the WBA super
taking charge of this one. Fortuna against Sosa. Looking forward to this. Barry, you've seen a bit of Fortuna. What do you make of him?
He's exciting. He can punch and he's awkward, but he's also a little bit wild. Can be a little bit. Let's see, throws punches below the belt. Put it that way. He'll hit you on the knees and everything.
And can he be hit?
Oh, too much. Again, we've seen that against Velasquez, and that fight. He got the stoppage, but he had to take a lot of shots before that. He makes a lot of mistakes, but because he got so much power, though, I think that disguises a lot of that. But also Sosa as well. He's not a hard target to find. So it's going to be a fight that pretty much who can hit the hardest, and you fancy Fortuna in that category. And
he's strong and rugged, Sosa, isn't he? He does throw quite sort of heavy punches, probably a little slow. But he'll come here with real attitude, particularly maybe buoyed by the result against Walters.
Yeah, even though nobody, maybe except for him and his corner, and the judges thought it was only near a draw. Even thought it was a clear win for Walters. But he did well to stay in there last a distance. He took Walters, who knows a tremendous puncher, and he took the punches off Walters. So there's no reason to think where he can't take the punches off Fortuna. Bear in mind that was a featherweight, but Walters didn't make the weight, so he was practically boxing a super featherweight anyway at the time. So they're both going to have plenty of opportunities to land shots, that's for sure.
Well, let's hope it's quite fiery, respectful at the start through the opening minute. You see Fortuna trying to move out of range, but behind that Floyd Mayweather-esque shoulder. Not always easy to perfect, doesn't always work. Straight away with that, no knockdown. Plenty of feints from both of them, Barry.
Yeah. I think that's sometimes the way, when you're both stalking, looking for the openings, a little feint sometimes, just make the guy a little bit twitchy. If you can draw the lead with a feint, then you've got a clear target to hit.
Certainly a positive start from Sosa. He's the one trying to come forward.
Just quicken the feet up then, Sosa, just to get closer to the target. Didn't really make enough of that success, but it was a good little move. Just what I say, he's a little bit slow, hand and foot, but then just quicken his feet up quite impressively.
Yeah, he's certainly looked that way. The footage I've been watching of him. Fortuna's not doing much here.
No, Fortuna's looking for the clean target. You can see he's holding that left hand there, it's cocked up there by his chin, looking just to let it go, but be careful, you don't just give these rounds away. We're trying to look for that great finish, because he knows he can punch.
I tell you what, he missed by a millimetre with that right hand. Fortuna.
10 seconds, stop the bell. Time, no punch.
Forward, he squares himself up and gives you opportunities to land, but he does carry a lot of power though, and he is very awkward and gangly.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because there's almost a perception that southpaws are just naturally sort of slicker, more skillful, better footwork. It's not always the way.
I'll tell you what they are. is hated.
By fellow boxers, indeed.
But you can never look good against it, even if you can beat the southpaw. I've never lost to a southpaw, by the way. But you can never look good against them. They're so awkward and horrible. But not so much because there's so many southpaws nowadays in the amateur boxing. I think now that sort of changed. I think boxers are used to it more than ever before.
You surprised we've not got more converted southpaws? Or converted, you know, I mean, the guys like Cotto and Barrera are left-handed, aren't they?
Yeah. I don't know why you would change. I don't know why they didn't box the southpaw. No, and De La Hoya was one day. I think he was left-handed who boxes an orthodox fighter. I just think there's so much advantages when you add a southpaw, especially with the jab. Well, for a minute, up to now, Fortuna's done nothing at all.
Yeah, whether he's just having a look at Sosa or whether he's just waiting for a big shot at the perfect moment, who knows? But unbeaten, unblemished. He does have the punch. 21 knockouts in 29 of those victories. 3 of his last 4, 5 of his last 7, and quite a few of them have tended to be early as well. And is he the sort of guy that just isn't as natural perm? And he carried it through to the 10th last time against Velasquez. I mean, 17 inside the first 3 prior to that, Barry.
Yeah, he is a natural puncher, and he's loose when he throws. So that's shows his natural punching. He doesn't load up too much heavy, like Sosa's total opposite, isn't he? He's all muscle bound and looking to real fire those shots in, or real push him in really hard. He wants to make you feel. So they're heavy shots rather than snappy punches, where Fortuna got more of a snap to his, which makes him more impressive when he does hit you clean.
Just no rhythm at all in his work so far.
Well, Sosa's not having a lot of success, but he's the only one trying to fight at the minute. Even that, it sounds heavy, but that's pretty much blocked, isn't it? By Fortuna.
Oh, big clubbing right hand. And suddenly he lets his hands go, Sosa. Belatedly, right at the end of the second round. Just sort of almost caught. Well, belatedly, Javier Fortuna has woken up. Is that just a portent of fireworks to come? Third round then of the scheduled 12 in this super featherweight division. The WBA belt up for grabs, being defended by Javier Fortuna in the yellow and gold trunks for the second time. He's not done that much so far in the opening 2 rounds. About a little flurry at the end of the second.
Good start of the round there from Sosa again. Nice straight right hand right on the centre of the guard, and a left hook as well to follow.
He actually beat Miguel Cotto's cousin, didn't he? Fortuna.
Abner.
Absolutely, yeah. That was a couple of years ago. Stopped him in 5.
Fortuna offering his chin there to Sosa.
He's not what you call a stylist, is he? At all.
No, but we want to see a bit more of that, though, don't we? Him then his hands go. I think Sosa, good upper body movement there, good lateral movement, bobbing and weaving there from Sosa to stay out of trouble. But Fortuna landed with a couple to start that little combination.
Oh, I don't know. I think this pair could have a really fun scrap if they just decided just to fight. Fun for us.
Yeah.
And those watching. Not so fun maybe to be in there taking a belt on the head. At the moment, Fortuna's just fighting in little spurts. I suppose the danger when you do that, Barry, is that I always think this, you know, it's all very well blocking punches, but is it obvious that you're blocking punches?
Yeah, it's not always obvious, no. And obviously the judges will call, but from the back of the arena, that looks like you're getting hit. So, you know, that's why you get a lot of crowds booing sometimes at decisions which they think a fight's closer than it is. But, oh, lovely uppercut there from Sosa.
Oh, he's caught him again. Fortuna.
Oh, that's what I meant, Fortuna. Lovely uppercut from Fortuna, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, and he does look like he carries the balance of power.
But it's not forced, his power either, is it? It's all nice and smooth when he throws his punches. And he's so unorthodox as well when he lets his hands go. He doesn't hold his hands unorthodox. He's quite, quite solid. But when he lets his hands, when he throws his punches, they come from unusual angles.
That was a nice little right hand from Sosa. Yeah, you could tell it landed, hence the reaction from Fortuna. I think there's a Spanish cigarette called Fortuna. This one looks like it might just catch fire.
After panic about winning every single round, but I still think it's a risky tactic, because if a guy takes a great punch or he's a better boxer than you give him credit for, you don't want to be chasing a fight too much. But I still think that was a round for Fortuna for me, that one. I thought, he landed with even though Sosa was busy, I think Fortuna's quality and a couple of little attacks was enough.
So into round 4 then. That's better, yeah. It was about the right punch to throw against the southpaw. I think it's the first time we've seen that really come into play.
No, he did in the beginning of the last round. Good right hand on the centre of the guard and a left hook, and then that was it then.
He looked for it again.
He looked to shorten it that time, looked to throw it over the top.
I suppose that's the thing, a bit like a baseball pitcher, slightly varying the pace and angle of the pitch.
Yeah, of course. Well, especially weights a shot. Someone can be heavy-handed, but without the snap, you can get used to that. It's that acceleration at the last quarter, the last third of the punches is what really puts fighters to sleep.
I think that's what Foreman did to Moura, didn't he? I think he kept sort of just kind of slightly pawing with a jab,
clubbing, and bang.
Yeah, and then suddenly a big one. You probably get lulled in thinking, right, this is what's coming, this is what's coming, and then boom, there goes something different. Left hand, that just had Sosa juggling back on his heels, and here comes the attack. And there's no doubt when he starts to go for it, Fortuna, people just slowly start reaching forward in their seats.
Yeah, I tell you, they're both showing good upper body movement, good, good head movement as well. Sosa got hit with a body shot, and the onslaught was pretty impressive from Fortuna, but Sosa kept moving. Wouldn't be a stationary target, so it was hard for Fortuna to hit the target clean.
Again, he's copying a couple there, just slightly cuffing, swinging shots from Fortuna, but he's gaining in confidence, playing to the crowd. And they like that in China, they love it.
Well, good right hand there from Sosa.
Yeah, he's thinking, just give me one shot, please. I think Sosa's got a good attitude. I don't think he'll be too bothered with any of the nonsense. Good little run.
It'd either be 3-1 Fortuna or what I got is 2-2 at the minute.
Yeah, same as me, but no doubt Fortuna's the one who's gaining in confidence. I think he thinks if he's not in front, then he's in control and happy with the destiny of this contest.
Well, it has that impression, because when he turns it on, it looks his fight. It's only because Sosa's an honest fighter, going out there trying to force the pace.
And he's, I mean, boxing abroad here in China. Oh, that was a big left hand. Sosa acknowledged that. I think it was a big dollop of phlegm came flying through the air. And he looks like he'd probably take a punch, Sosa.
Well, you could use 10 rounds with Nicholas Walters, you can take a punch.
Yeah, absolutely. That, of course, back in December. He's only been stopped once, and that was with Trishon back in, when was it, 5-6 years ago, when he stopped in the very first round. That's a guy who's unbeaten in 5-6 years, so no disgrace there. That was very early on in his career.
Step back and take a punch. Pull your arm out, Sosa. Your hands are free. There you go. Yes. Yes.
Just trying to quicken his feet, as Barry's saying, so he can get close to land the punches. He's blocking that right hand well, though, isn't he?
Yes. Fortuna is, yeah, he is. He keeps that left hand, he's showboating a little bit, he keeps that left hand up really tight. That's better from Sosa. I know he missed with the attack, but a little bit of a spring in his step, so he can just get a little bit of acceleration on his feet to come forward.
I mentioned no stranger to travelling as well for Tunis. He's been across to Mexico a couple of times. And I thought in Uruguay, the Virgin Islands as well, is splitting his time between his native Dominican Republic and, of course, where he's based now in America. Oh, just missed. Did he just miss with that uppercut?
I think it might have, I think Sosa just missed with the right hand, but I think Fortuna might have just tapped him with the uppercut.
Certainly an interesting little contest. You feel that Fortuna's in control of it, and you're always wondering whether he can just produce the explosive finish. Definitely knocked out. Lands with the left hand. and he exploded into that one. Sosa shakes his head. He definitely was caught with a punch, and he touched down. It's a knockdown. Definitely wasn't hurt. Well, there you go. You just...
He went down. It's a cracking little shot. Really is. Because his hands are up there, Sosa. So Fortuna's done well to either find the gap or just punch through the guard.
So a big turning point potentially. Or an important platform maybe for Fortuna. Or just a reminder of the power that he carries. And the interesting thing is, Barry, about that is often he's throwing punches when he's off balance or his feet are off the floor. Kind of really leaps into some of his shots.
He's madly unorthodox, isn't he? And that they're hard to box people like that. You just don't know when you're in a safe position with him. You see him off balance, you think that's your chance to attack. And with someone like Fortuna, that sort of ends up being the worst time to attack when they're walking onto something.
And do you know what, with Sosa, I mean, he really is trying here, Barry, but because you mentioned before, his footwork isn't that great. So sometimes he's leaving his feet behind, and his chin and his upper body's almost on the chest before his feet can get there. You just wonder if he's going to walk onto one, Sosa.
That is the fit. Well, he has already, hasn't he? Walked onto a shot, literally walked onto it. And I think that's coming again. I think Fortuna wants that to happen. You know, Fortuna could be forcing the fight, I think, if he wanted to. But I think he's enjoying himself, moving around. He's boxing quite well. He's looking quite sharp. And every time he decides to let his hands go, he looks very, very impressive.
And we mentioned how so often fractured the WBA has become within each fighting weight, but this is a belt that's been held by the likes of Manny Pacquiao, Marquez once upon a time, Chris John first had a long reign, the Indonesian, and latterly Gamboa as well.
And Yoel Casamayor, one of the better Cubans as well.
Yeah, what a talent. He was in some really great fights towards the end of his career, wasn't he? He's charismatic, isn't he?
Pretty good time to turn around and have a little chat with the referee. But listen, because Sosa got slow feet, it's making Fortuna look a little bit of a better boxer or mover than I think he is. But he's still boxing well, and I think he slowed Sosa down with the power shots. Where Sosa was really coming out trying to rush him all the time. Now Sosa's not being so adventurous, and he's more educated, trying to be more educated with his attacks. And again, we've said it all throughout tonight. It's about dictating the pace, and especially when you think you're technically the better fighter, if you can slow the pace down, it suits you a lot better. And that's again what's happened here with Fortuna.
Yeah, and the pair of them sort of spider-like and not necessarily easy to read where they're going. Here he goes again at the end of the round. Around the ring at the end of that round, Fortuna. Again, there'll be guys looking at this, looking at Fortuna, thinking that he's definitely beatable.
Well, you think you just got to put pressure on him, don't you? That's what he looks like. He looks a little bit gangly. You got to put pressure on him, make him work. Because he carries that power, I think that's much easier said than done. As we've seen with Sosa, who can take a good shot.
Oh, was there a low blow there? He almost turned his back, Fortuna.
It's not the first time he's felt he's been hit low and the referee has waved it off. You can't turn your back. That's the referee's job to notice that. You've got to carry on with your work. We've seen Julius Jackson recently turn his back on one of the Charlo brothers and get knocked out. I think he did it because he got hurt, wasn't quite sure where he was. But you know, turning away from your opponent is whether you've been hit by a foul or whether you've been hurt, is a dangerous game to play.
Stop, no punch.
Well, he said stop punching, ref, but then they both punch, so he just let them get on with it.
That's good from Sosa there, because Fortuna's lining him up and he just keeps that little bit of a rocking movement in his body there, just so he's not a stationary target.
Yeah, he's sort of trying to draw Fortuna on, not overcommit himself. Yeah, that was quite good.
We talk about people moving your head going forward or moving your head all the time after you throw a punch, and Sosa there, just the fact that he's constantly moving, even when his feet are still, he's constantly moving that upper body, just makes it harder for a puncher like Fortuna just to line you up for a big shot.
This is a better round for Sosa.
Still a minute to go yet, though.
I think what Sosa's done well is he's just sort of proved stubborn in any moments in the contest. And there have been a couple of them where Fortuna's looked like he potentially could just completely take over.
Good right hand there, though, from Sosa.
Exactly. And Sosa keeps sort of coming back with resistance and a little answer of his own.
And again, good work there from Sosa also.
Letting his hands go. You sense with Fortuna, he is the sort of guy who could completely outwork, and if he's not building up confidence, and you might just be able to dispirit him. I just wonder. This, even although you think really Fortuna should be winning it, and probably winning it comfortably, the referee just went across to him and said, no holding, no pushing down, next time I'm going to deduct a point, I think he said. Oh, interesting.
And that's why he shouldn't be messing around now, Fortuna. He could get on with it now. You know, he knows he can hurt the guy. He knows he's better when he's letting his hands go from distance, and do that.
He's come straight out. Spurred on by his corner, the referee, but he's come out this round trying to go at it. Just watching the feet, Barry, that, you know, so many times in that little exchange, Sosa's, you always talk about the southpaw, he's on the inside, isn't he, with his left hand a lot. I mean, they have got quite spider, herky-jerky actions, the pair of them anyway.
Well, Sosa did really well there with the body movement to stay out of trouble.
They're probably quite an unorthodox pair, really, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they really are. Well, Sosa got shades of Ryan Walsh about him, for me.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Stop. No punch. I'm here. Let him go. Keep your head up. Box.
Ryan's got a bit more sort of balance and poise, but yeah.
Especially that little thing when he just with the upper body movement, the way he was making Fortuna miss.
And the left hand there just sort of slid off the gloves. It was almost slightly deflected away from the chin there from Fortuna. And nobody's taking over here.
But Sosa's having more success for me in this round. So that can change in an instant with Fortuna. Once he switches on, he tries to let his hands go, but he just don't throw enough.
Pull your arms out, Sosa. Your hands are free. Pull your arm out, Sosa. It's free to get out.
There you can hear the referee again. That's sort of holding up close. I think he's warned him a few times about that.
Good jab there from Sosa as well.
Listen for that bell.
Another burst from Fortuna. Do you know what? This pair. I must admit, I gave the 6th round level, Barry. I couldn't really split them. Second, you could argue about, but and I feel like Fortuna should be way in front, but I've got it level.
I got Fortuna 1 point up.
Yeah, I mean, it sort of feels like it shouldn't be that close, but it probably is.
Well, some of those early rounds, Fortuna just wasn't busy enough. You know, he knows he carries power, and he just wanted to decide do little comments like this, but later in the rounds, start faster like he is right now. But also keep in mind that he don't want to blow out, because I think Sosa's a tougher man than. Well, he's not a tough man to give him credit for. He's a tough man. You know, we give him credit from that from day one. Again, we know no one thinks he deserved the draw against Walters, but just going the distance with Walters was enough. Enough of a victory.
Oh, it's like a win, absolutely right. Given the run that Walters was on. Yeah, the Walters who'd previously hammered Darchinian and Donaire within a short space of months. Oh, down the stretch now. It's getting tight, but certainly Fortuna's come out this round as though he wants to do something.
Well, as though he's been told, listen, this is tighter than what we wanted it to be. This is a lot tighter than what we thought, and we need to just start closing the show a little bit now, finishing these rounds, starting and finishing these rounds strong. And because he carries so much power, Fortuna, he wants to be hitting the target all the time, but it keeps Sosa quiet. because he's worried about just evading shots rather than trying to mix it with him. And his leg comes up before Fortuna's as well. So his footwork's so bad when he comes forward that someone lifts that front leg up.
And there you see the power, just a little short right hand he threw that had Sosa off balance.
Nice little hook in that exchange there from Fortuna.
He's letting his hands go now. And they both are. This is what the crowd want to see. This is what we want to see. Just become a little frustrating. Was that a good body shot?
Great body shot there from Sosa. He looked for that as well. He didn't just throw it. You could see him have a look for the angle. That's good composure under pressure.
Well, he's warned him again. That's the third time he's warned Fortuna for holding. Good right hand there from Sosa. He's had his little successes in this round.
Again with the right hand, but a good left hand back from Fortuna.
Well, the great news is they don't seem to be bothered about defence now. Oh, a couple of big shots at the end. And again from Fortuna.
And look at this other body movement again from Sosa.
Well, just when you were wondering, was it becoming awkward and a bit difficult to watch through a couple of those rounds, suddenly it burst into action, and all of that was because Fortuna decided to fight. And that might be just the edge that he needed to carry him through the closing rounds, but it's definitely up for grabs.
Well, he's got to be honest now, haven't he, Fortuna? He's got to have an honest approach to it, an honest effort. He's got to be busy. I got him ahead by a couple of points now, I think, by now, but you know, it's 3 rounds to go. If he takes some rounds off, he switches off like he have previously in some of the rounds, then Sosa could possibly nick it. But listen, Fortuna, you feel that Fortuna's the better fighter out of the two for some reason. So they've got the faster hands, the bigger punch, but the strength and the chin of Sosa, and also the head movement he shows under pressure, the composure he shows under pressure, Sosa is quite refreshing.
And you know what? It's been a brilliant first minute for Sosa. He's making Fortuna miss, and he's been punishing him with some left and right hands.
I think what Sosa's done here now, with the Walters fight to get the draw, and with this display now, whatever happens, unless he wins, he's doing himself out the work. Because why would you want to fight this fella?
Yeah, good point.
Takes a shot, he's strong, you know, I don't think he's a KO artist, but he's heavy-handed, you can see that. Powerful. And you can't overwhelm him either because you've got good upper body movement. Look at this one, Sosa.
Oh, he's all over him. I think he hurts him with the left hook to the body, and he's going after him here. Oh, he's grabbing on Fortuna. He's in all sorts of bother, hanging on for dear life. He's been warned for that already. Bundled to the ground. Is he going to count this? I think he is.
Yes.
He is. It was a push, but the way he was holding on Fortuna, perhaps he deserved it.
And I think that body shot left him, I think it just caught him on the chin because Fortuna was bending low. I think he just wanted to scrape his chin.
Well, how about this for a turnaround? It looked like that Fortuna was just starting to take control, and suddenly the tough, muscular Sosa is finding a way.
No punch.
Oh, unfortunate is this.
Yeah, as the gum shield and the gum shields come out. Oh, this is bottom.
Fortuna's
Crucial to, and he's taking a point. Well, he spat out the gum shield, says the referee. He's been warned about holding. He's been down in this round. This could be and a momentous 10-7, 10th round. Could it get better for Sosa?
Oh, good left hook again there from Sosa.
Oh, he caught him again, he can't miss, he's all over the place. Another left hand, and again Fortuna grabs on. He's all over the place. And that awkward sort of rubbery leg style of his is exaggerated now. He's under pressure and tiring and hurt.
Oh, you got a point again here, taken away for that.
Well, he lets him box on. And how he's going to need this minute's rest, Fortuna. No swagger, no cockiness now. More with the right hand, but it was just the constant pressure and the number of shots that landed. And how much has that taken out of Fortuna? Can he rally again? We've got 2 rounds to go, and Barry, I think you might have it. I think I've got that 3-point swing just edging Sosa into the lead. That is a huge round either way. It certainly closes the gap if nothing else, but do you know what? The way Sosa's going, it might be immaterial. Forget the calculators and abacus. There's another slashing right hand from Sosa. And there's no doubt Sosa's... Oh, big left hand! Oh, he's got him, he's down! And he must be out. Can he get up? It was 3 huge punches. He is all over the place. He'll do well to get to his feet. He tries to con the referee. No. And I think it's a good stoppage. He hangs his head. But that was a heavy knockdown. Still his legs. You can see the referee, Raul Caiz Jr., he is holding Fortuna up. And the title has changed hands in dramatic circumstances.
Deserve the win in the end.
Starts about 32 seconds into round number 11. Your winner by TKO and the new WBA super featherweight champion of the world, Jason El Canito Sosa.
A champion of the world.